Hey, what's up? It's Comic95, the Savior. So yeah, for this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my dating life that's been going on here since I've come back to Tokyo. So to catch you guys up, because I don't know what order I'm going to be uploading or shall I say publishing my videos, because I have tons that have already been edited and uploaded, but I haven't like set dates to actually publish them to you yet. So to kind of recap, my patrons already know this. I am in Tokyo right now. I've been here for a minute as of the uploading of this video that you'll see soon. And yeah, I've pretty much been going on a date almost every day, if not multiple dates on single days. So yeah, however, don't get me wrong, I'm not playing people. I'm legitimately seriously looking for a husband. But of course, like, I would be a fool to be like, oh my god, this guy's cute, go on a date with him and declare him my boyfriend. I have to actually get to know these people first. So excuse my voice, it's kind of hoarse because of this air being left on, and I'm about to start eating and drinking while I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, I'm using my computer right now and I'm actually holding it on my lap. I am sitting on a futon at the moment and I am at a share house. So yeah, let me lower this. I'm going to be moving around this computer a lot until I find a comfortable position because I'm old and my knees are going to give out and I'm going to be like, oh my god, I need to move my computer because my leg hurts, it's cramping. So yeah. So anyway, let me go ahead and show you my foods. Is this expired? I bought this a while ago. Okay, oh no, it's good for a good minute. I have until August 28th. You might not see this video by then, who knows? So anyway, today is August 9th? No, today is the 8th and it's Sunday, Japan time. So if you're in the US, is it the 9th for you? Yes, I think, yes, the 9th for you too. It's like 1 a.m. or something there, 3 a.m. or something, I think. But anyway, let's get on subject. So, oh my god, I had the most crazy date experiences, like crazy date experiences with an S from several different people, but particularly two. We're going to talk about one for this video and I'll save the other one that happened earlier for another video. I briefly talked about it on Patreon. Yes, I'm shamelessly putting in my plug. You want to know what's going on with me? Go to Patreon because I give a lot more detail and in real time instead of putting together a story in which I cannot tell you all the details here. Excuse me for being ghetto, but why would I have to pretend like there's no food on the sled? Like, who doesn't do this? I'm sorry. Okay. What that mouth do? So, what was I gonna say to you? Yeah, I absolutely love these Greek yogurts, especially like strawberries. Is this even considered Greek yogurt? Well, I don't know. It's Greek yogurt to me. So, I had been talking to this guy on the Paris app for a long time. Not a really long time, but for me a long time, like a few weeks. And he lived in Gunma. And at the time when we were speaking, I was in Osaka. So he had told me, like, oh, like, you know, I really want to meet you, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, I'll come see you. And during that time, I happened to move to Tokyo. So I'm currently in Tokyo right now. And he messaged me just days before, you know, we were scheduled to have met. Of course, after I posted my thirst trap, which I talked about in another video. I think I'm going to upload that one before this one. But I don't know if he saw it or not because I'm not trying to jump ahead, but after our date, I noticed that he didn't have access to my story. So I don't know why I had him hidden, but everyone automatically, when I add you as a friend online, I don't give them access to view any of my pictures or videos, etc. because also I have students and stuff on there. And there's a level of professionalism. I'm not going to show my students a picture of me in my bra and panties. That's just common sense. But if they see it, they see it. I ain't finna hide. But I'm not going to purposefully post inappropriate content to them. And I don't want them to know my personal life. They don't need to know about who I'm going on a date with, what I'm doing with YouTube, etc. And not just like students, but like co-workers I have there too. So anyway, where was I at? So yeah, he didn't say anything inappropriate then. He just realized, oh, I really want to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And so we never like set an exact time, but I knew I was supposed to see him in the evening. Well, I had a date planned for the daytime on Friday. I talked to you guys about that in my other video already about, you know, the guys that like lost their crap after they saw me in my panties. But I had a different date with the guy that earlier that day on Friday that lasted for the entire day and actually went longer than I expected it to, which is why I always like try to have 2 dates like back to back so it has my entire day, you know, scheduled, because I don't know, maybe the guy doesn't like me. We only have a date for an hour or 2 hours, or he's busy and has dates with other girls. It's like I'll have dates with other guys. So I always try to assume they're only going to be there for a couple of hours and not the entire day, which is why I double booked a date for the same day. However, I didn't expect to stay gone so long. Ended up not getting home until like around 8 o'clock, and he had like been blowing up my phone. The guy, let me just say his name because you're never gonna meet him, and he's not gonna know what's going on either. And all Japanese people have super common names, so his name is Yuji. So Yuji was the guy that was supposed to have met in the afternoon or evening, I should say. And so he had called me in the middle of my date, and so I was like, I can't answer the phone right now. I can't even text you back. So he like was blowing up my phone, so I had to just turn it off altogether. And so when I got a chance, I messaged him telling him, oh, you know, I'm busy. I made up a crap excuse. Telling him that, you know, I was busy doing something else. I didn't say I was on a date, but, you know, I'm sure he put 2 and 2 together, got the hint. And so he was like, where are you? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, like, why would you show up, 1, without calling and giving me notice about what time you were going to be here? 2, normal people tell you when they're on their way, and then they tell you when they're near, and then they tell you when they're here. They do not just randomly text or call you and say, hey, I'm here, come outside. You do realize it takes time to get ready, dress, prepare. And so anyway, I was nowhere near there. I was actually in Kanagawa at the time. I went to Yokohama. And so I did tell him that part. And so he actually had plans to go to Kanagawa the next day, which he revealed to me when I was telling him, like, oh, look, you know, I'm available to meet now. And so I was thinking to myself, like, oh, so here you are. He was being nice. He wasn't like being rude. Oh, I came all the way here for you. He was making it seem like almost like trying to like guilt trip me or whatever, make it seem like he came here just for me in a way. But really, it's like you have your own plans to do in a neighboring prefecture, a neighboring city, if you will. So you're not really wrapping your time around here around me. You have your own plans, which is fine. But I'm thinking like, okay, well now I don't feel so guilty anymore. And so I messaged him saying, like, hey, I'm available now. And he was, oh, like, you know, it's okay. Like, you know, since you're available, you know, tomorrow, let's meet tomorrow then. So I'm like, okay. And so then this time he tells me the time. He says it'll be in the afternoon. And he says, you know, it'll probably be, you know, in the afternoon. He said I might get there as early as 12. Next day comes. Do you know that this fool tells me that he's here once again, 10 a.m., 10:20 a.m. And I'm like, that is literally 2 hours before the earliest time you said you'd be here. I am knocked out sleep. I'm not expecting you. So of course I nicely messaged him. And I explained, like, look, like, I'm half asleep. I'm taking a nap. I'm not ready. I need time to get ready. You said you were going to be in the afternoon. And so he's already like near my closest station. He says, oh, look, it's okay. I'm so sorry, blah, blah. So he says he's going to wait around in the area. And so then I explained to him that I'm probably not going to be ready till like 1:30 because I need time to get ready. And so he's understanding. He says that he'll leave and come back. I don't know where he went or if he really left or what happened. But this time, I'm like, okay, well, now, unfortunately, I didn't check the weather. There's a typhoon going on. It's raining. So, hold on. I get all dressed up, do my hair really nicely, do my makeup. And I figure, like, you know, I might as well take my time. I tell him I'm going to be there before 1. I'll be ready before 1. I messaged him, like, around 11. Because I needed some time to think if I wanted to even meet him at this point. And so I was like, go ahead and meet him. He came all the way here. Do it. He's being nice. He's being patient. He's waiting for you. But I was like, I really don't feel like doing this. I was like, you know, if I'm going to go out, might as well be late. Be fashionable. Put on a dress. Put on a nice outfit. Had my rain jacket. Everything. And then I stepped outside. It was like 12:40. It was too hot. I was like, oh my God. It is like a sauna out here. It stopped raining. But it was so hot. And I was like, I'm already feeling hot 2 seconds into being here. There's no way I'm going to last the whole day walking around with Tokyo with thousands of people around me. It's way more busy here than Osaka. I forgot just how busy Tokyo was. And so, mind you, he had a car, but still. And so, like, I messaged him before and asked him, like, you know, what his car looked like. Not to be funny or, like, a gold digger, so to speak. Not to pretend like I don't have the right to care about what you have, because I do. But, you know, I was just happy to be inside of a car. I didn't care. But I can tell that kind of made him feel a little self-conscious off the bat. And then I asked him, like, you know, if you had a plan, like, what do you plan to do? He said, oh, it's up to you. Like, you know, go for a drive, eat, etc. Which is what he said before we had met, like, a month earlier. When I first started messaging him, like, maybe 3-4 weeks ago. So anyway, once I get like near his car, I couldn't tell if that was him or not. I messaged him saying I'm there. And a guy comes walking towards me. And he looked like one of those like gas station like dudes or whatever. Like he looked like a bum. I'm just gonna keep it real. But after like sitting in the car with him and like actually being together, two things happened. First thing I noticed was, dude, do you smoke? I didn't think to ask him that. It smelled like straight up cigarette smoke. And I'm sorry, I don't know about how you all feel, but I don't smoke. And on top of that, I had just done laundry, just washed, and straightened my hair. And boy, was I pissed off. Because you know how that is when you're around a smoker and you don't smoke? It instantly gets rid of the good, freshly washed hair smell that you have going on. And I have curly hair. It's a pain to have to wash your hair and straighten it again to get that nice, fresh shampoo smell. So that made me mad. Then the fact that I, done my laundry and I changed my outfit. I told him that, I stepped aside and need to change my clothes again because it was too hot. I was so angry. He was so sweet and so nice. He said, oh, look, I'm so sorry. Well, he just seemed like such a sweetheart. So I was like, you know what? I want to get out this car so bad. But he came all the way here. He waited all this time. Even though he had plans to allegedly see his family in Kanagawa. I'm sure he probably had another date. I was just like, just stay. He looked like an idol. He was fine. But I was also pretty sure he lied about his height. Because I initially had on like heels and everything. Here I am. I walked outside with gym shoes on. Mind you, this is my 5'4" self. This dude was barely taller than me. So either I didn't have a good picture of his height because I wasn't really looking him up and down. Or he just flat out lied. Because on his profile, I said he was 179 centimeters. So that means this dude should have been like, I don't know, about 5'9", 5'10". He looked like he was no more than 5'6", maybe more like 5'5". We were like almost the same height. So I didn't say anything. But I expect people to keep it real. Because in my dating profile, I have it listed that I'm fat. Am I really like legitimately fat in the U.S.? No. I'm on the thick side. But even in the U.S., realistically, if I'm talking to my doctor, yeah, I'm a fat ass. Okay, and with that said, I don't go around lying and misleading the guys trying to pretend like my body looks the way that it doesn't look. I make it very clear. In case you cannot tell by my pictures, in case you cannot tell by my face, I'm fat. And if you don't like people that are built like me, that look like me, that are fat like me, this ain't gonna work. So I have it clearly listed there. And with that said, yeah, I don't like people lie to me about their stuff. My height is clearly listed. Not my exact weight, because that doesn't give an option for that. And I wouldn't list it anyway because I'm a girl and that's unnecessary. You know what my body type looks like. You can see tons of pictures of me. I have well over 30, 40 pictures. It's crammed into my profile. And so, yeah. Then he was also friends with me online, so he has access to that too. He might not have access to my story, but he apparently saw something, and you'll find out later. So, let me eat some more yogurt, I'm sorry. We talked more, and literally like minutes into the conversation, he was like, oh, look, you're so pretty. You're so cute. I'll take you anywhere you want to go, anything you want to do. We have the whole summer vacation together. I can drive you anywhere you want to go in Japan. He made it sound like he was like just going to go on some endless Japan road trip type thing. And I instantly started getting F-boy vibes from him. I don't know why, because he was a really good English speaker. He spoke Thai too, and he spent 2 years in Thailand. About 10 years ago, he was 8 years ago. He was 31 years old at this time. So he's a few years older than me. And so, yeah. So between that and he's a Pisces too, which made me think, oh, he's a good guy, which he was ultimately overall. So anyway, oh God, where's my drink? Need my smoothie. So yeah, as we're talking, we decide. He asked me if I'm hungry because I was trying to be, nice, respectful. I already know this dude ain't rich. But even for the guys I date that have money, I never look for it. I say, oh, I'm hungry, go take me out to eat. Give me this, give me whatever. I just always say, oh, whatever you want to do. And if they consistently ask questions, I'll admit, yeah, I am hungry. So he asked me what I wanted to eat. So I know how this question goes. So I pretend like I don't know. Anything is okay. So he starts putting out cheap options. And then he mentions to me how he really wants to, go to the izakaya, wants to drink. And I'm like, yeah, are you trying to date Whitney? I already know where this is going. And so he asked on his own. He's like, you don't drink? And so I was like, I do sometimes, but not really. I'm thinking like, nigga, it's afternoon. So I guess he was planning to go in the evening is what he was really getting at. So, what happened? So we go for a drive, and he's trying to find a place. And initially, I said, you know, hey, let's go to Shinjuku. And he felt really, really uncomfortable driving because where he's from, you know, like, rides his motorcycle around town. And, you know, Gunma is not nearly as busy as Tokyo. And so we're having trouble finding a place, and the area we're in had like a bunch of host clubs, and it was really difficult to drive in. And so we ended up, you know, just deciding to go to Shibuya, which you would think Shibuya would be worse, but for some strange reason it seemed like it was less crowded than Shinjuku for some reason. And this was on a Saturday. So, yeah, we went there, and we took a minute to find some parking, and when we found parking, we got out, and it was so hot during the few minutes we spent just walking to the station. And we weren't far away from it. We were literally like maybe a 3-minute walk from the train station, or 4-minute walk or whatever. Then we got lost and couldn't figure out, you know, how to get to the building I was talking about. I was like, oh, like, you know, let's go to Shibuya Sky. You know, there's a mall there. Find somewhere to eat. And so I asked him before we walked all the way there, because we spent more like about 15 minutes walking to actually get to the building, because of course, you know, after you get to the station you have to actually walk inside to get to the Sky building, and we got lost. So anyway, I asked him, I was like, you know, it's up to you. Do you want to go to somewhere inside this little strip area here, or do you want to go inside to the mall, or do you have another preference? Oh, let's go inside to the mall. He said it himself. I let him choose. We get there. He asked them for help, because I asked him, you know, hey, let's just ask the staff where the Sky building is. So he did that. And then the more I thought about it, I could have done that too. But he's Japanese, so why should I be asking when he's right there? So anyway, we get there. He looks at the little, like, the layout, like telling you what restaurants they have there, which I didn't even know that they had that in that area right there, because I passed it a couple of times. Do you know he looked it up and down for a minute, and then instantly, like, went back and was like, oh, let's go somewhere else. And so he didn't say it, but it instantly crossed my mind. I was like, this nigga is broke as fuck. You wasted my time. You asked him what I wanted to eat just to not have enough money for it. And so he tried to play it off a little bit. And he was like, do you want to go here? And so I thought, you know, it's up to you, whatever. So I was like, let's go outside and find somewhere else. So as we're walking out, I'm pissed off. I'm thinking, like, I'm hot and sweaty. You said you needed to go to the bathroom. So I waited on you because we went to a convenience store and they had no bathroom. I forgot to mention that on our way walking there. We got lost trying to follow your direction. Then you decide, once we get there, that this is not within your budget. There weren't even prices listed there. And they had some cheapish restaurants there. But you can tell based on how they looked that they were going to cost more than what you would pay out on the street. They had like the little fried food, you know, tonkatsu type places, etc. and ramen too. But of course, I also had more expensive places as well. So I guess he was afraid of me choosing one of the even more expensive places there. But I'm sure everything that they had to offer is going to be obviously more costly than the restaurants out in the street. So I'm thinking to myself, if you know your budget, you know you can't afford it, you know you don't want to spend no money, why do you ask me, 1, what I want to eat, 2, pretend like you're willing to drive me around the world, and 3, why do you say you want to go to the mall? It's Shibuya. What do you think the cost is going to be? Ooh, I was so pissed off because it was hot too. And I'm not going to lie, I do get angrier when I'm hot. I was having to control myself because, like, I learned this from my ex-boyfriend. I'm guilty of getting mad at him because it was hot. Excuse me, it was hot and him being stupid. I need to drink some. So, my throat is getting dry. Sorry. I'm coughing all up inside you guys' ear. But anyway, so yeah, I try to walk out and play it cool. And so then he's like, oh, like, you know, let's go to KFC, which was a place that, you know, was across the street from where he had parked at. My nigga, you think I got dressed. I did all of the stuff. I waited all this damn time. You might be fine, but you're broke. You think I came all the way here, had you go all the way to Shibuya to take me to Kentucky Fried Chicken for a date, a first date? Like, you're not even trying at this point. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. And he's older than me. So just to add insult to injury, so then we had trouble figuring out which way we need to be going to get back to his car because he couldn't remember. And he was right. I'm glad that he didn't listen to me because I could have swore that it was the opposite direction. And he was like, no, remember we went underground. And so sure enough, we walked for 2 seconds and I was like, I think you're wrong. And he was like, no, we went underground. And she was like, you don't recognize this tunnel, but this is the way we went. And sure enough, I saw the Shibuya 109 building. I was like, oh, you're right. We did go this way. How did you remember that? Of course, it was his car that he parked, and he's Japanese. But anyway, that was the only redemption thing that he did. And so I like lied to myself and I told him just I can go home. Like, I'm hot. I just want to go home. And so I told him like I didn't want to go to KFC. I didn't want to eat. And so I pretended like I left my IC card, which I really didn't have my IC card, it turns out. So actually, this wouldn't have worked anyway. Because I was telling him, I'll just go home. And so he tried to like hint to me, then I'll just go back to my car by myself. And basically, you can stay here, get yourself home. And so I'm thinking, like, wait, hold on. You drove me here. I ain't wasting no money on your broke ass. I literally would have spent money on transportation for no reason. We didn't go on a date. You didn't buy me anything. I would have just wasted money getting myself home by train when I can get a free ride by car from you. You pick me up. You're dropping me off. So I nicely pretended like I thought I had my IC card, which I'm not gonna lie, I thought I did have, but I thought it was in my bag. So we got back to his car. He looked around his car for it, couldn't find it, which that kind of rubbed me the wrong way too. It's like, why are you checking your car for me? Like, he opened up my door and looked around my seat area for me. It's like he was ready to like hand it to me and be like, okay, here goes your pass, bye, leave. And so of course I didn't find it, and so like I played it off. I looked through my bag, and then I decided, just sitting inside the car and talk. I was just hot. I just didn't want to have to walk around. I was like, I don't really want to go to KFC. It's dirty. Which that area is dirty. I know I'm talking about the KFC by Shibuya Station. And so, well, if you live in Japan, or if you've lived in Tokyo, been here, you know what I'm talking about. And it's going to be crowded. I'm almost 30 years old. If I was in high school, KFC is fine for a date. If we've been dating for a while, shoot, I'd love to go to McDonald's with my boyfriend. Actually, I've never been to. No, I went to McDonald's one time, but we didn't actually sit there and dine in. We went there and got ice cream, if I recall. I think we just got ice cream. That was what show. But, yeah, like, I love McDonald's. So, unless a stereotype, but it's good. So, anyway, yeah, so we sit there, we talk for a while, and he just like adds insult to injury. So he keeps trying to like convince me that we should, go inside to KFC instead of just sitting there in the car. And then he's like, oh, well, I can go to the convenience store, and get some food and stuff first, which I should have let him do that, but I didn't, because I didn't want to feel bad about like making him waste his money. Because I was already making up my mind like, this dude is too cheap. There's no way I'm dating you. Like, I'm dating for the intention of getting married, not for the fun of it. Not for sex, which was very obvious what he was looking for, but he wasn't saying it. And so then he's like, oh, let me buy something from the vending machine. And so I was thinking, like, I don't want from these dirty vending machines either. Probably got roaches stuff all over it. So then he was like, oh, I need to step outside and smoke. Is it okay? And so at first I said no. I was like, fine, go ahead, let him smoke a cigarette. Do you know, before he went out to smoke, but do you know that he just like made things even worse? He revealed to me like the fact that, because I commented the fact, I'm surprised he have an earring. He got his ear pierced and he was 16, which it matters because you cannot work no good job here with no pierced ear. Then on top, he had a double piercing, I think on both ears actually, or at least he had one on the side that was closest to me in the car, which would have been his left ear. So yeah, but he only had in one little hoop earring though. So, alright, whatever, I can deal with that part. But I was thinking, like, I know you don't have a good job, so I can't marry you. And then he made it worse because he was like, oh, like, I've been smoking since I was 16 years old. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to date a smoker because I dated a chain smoker. I do not want to have to go around smelling like cigarette smoke. It's bad for your lungs. I'm trying to expose myself to cancer or my children when I have them. And smokers don't understand that. So I get it, it's hard to break the addiction. Most of my family smokes. My dad was a smoker, but he wasn't a heavy smoker like that. This dude told me that he smoked 15 cigarettes a day. So, what was I going to say? And it sucks because he was so handsome. So handsome. He was so cute. Y'all fetishizers would have been all over him. Y'all would have done anything for him. And if I was, I would have too. Because if I was just thinking about looks and not my future, I would have been okay with him being broke and stingy and frugal and everything. But it's like, no. After you date somebody that treats you, we're going to talk about that at the end of this video. But basically, you date somebody that treats you like royalty, spends money on you, doesn't hesitate. Going from that to someone who is nickeling and diming, why would you do that? So it's hard. So anyway, yeah, he's talking about how he dropped out of college after I think like a year or two or some semesters because it was boring. I mean, because you weren't smart. So it's just like so much stuff he's saying. Like he's just saying it like it's a good thing. Like he was completely open, honest, upfront with it. I didn't even ask him. And so I understood him. But the more I talked to him, I'm like, oh, now I see why you became a backpacker. He was a backpacker. And he like went to Thailand and he went to all these other countries, including the US too. And so he was a really sweet, nice guy. Like I said, don't get me wrong. But it's like, your mindset is not realistic. You're literally openly telling me, because he went into more detail than what I'm saying right here. You're openly telling me I'm a bum, I'm a loser, I'm stupid, and I have no interest in changing it for anybody. I'm a free spirit. I've been like this for years. I'm stuck in my ways, and this is how I'm going to be. Take it or leave it. And the fact that you don't even feel any need on a first date to put an effort to, one, dress nicely, two, to be able to spend just a little bit of money. You ain't got to ball out on me. I've dated other guys that were broke, including this otaku I'll talk to you guys about later. But even with him, he wasn't being super frugal and stingy. He was charging stuff to his credit card. I know he couldn't afford it. But you want to know what? He still did it, though. I'm not telling you to put yourself in debt and spend tons of money you don't have. But come on. More than likely, if you're like any other Japanese guy, no matter what job you have, these dudes have thousands of dollars put away inside of savings because they get money from their family for gifts and holidays. And most of them live at home for the majority of their lives until they get married. So even when they become a salaryman, they're saving a ton of money, living frugally. They don't go out buying crazy stuff, living lavishly, mainly because Japanese apartments aren't big anyway. So even if you do live by yourself, there's only so much stuff you can buy unless you got a gambling addiction, or I guess you spend all your money on cigarettes, which those don't even cost as much here in Japan as they do in the US. They're like a quarter of the price or half the price or whatever. I'm saying. So, yeah, the whole time I'm listening, I'm like, I'm trying to be open-minded. I'm trying to give this a chance, but I'm like, I couldn't marry you. I would always have to worry about money. I would always have to work, including while I'm pregnant. Like, there's literally no pros to marrying you at this point, other than the fact that my kids would have a very pretty face and some pretty curly hair, because he had really curly hair. He had, not really curly hair, but he had really curly hair for a Japanese person. My hair is curly too, so their hair would definitely be curly. But oh God, let me stop because I'm about to get into it with the PC police here. Y'all girls gonna kill me. But you get what I'm saying. That's literally it. I knew my kids to be cute. But long term, doesn't matter if your kids are cute, your children are not you. Secondly, the other reality is I kinda don't care if my kids have straight or curly hair. It doesn't make a difference to me at all. So I like curly hair better on kids. So dating somebody with curly hair obviously increases those chances of it. But that's another story. I got my own curly hair to do. So anyway, we let some time go by, and then eventually it's like, oh, you know, how about we meet tomorrow? Because I promised my mom I was going to see her and it's been a couple of months, blah, blah. I told her I was going to see her tonight. So I'm like, okay. So as we're driving back, he's taking me home. He tells me that he's, like, once we get near my place, that he's pretty sure that I don't plan to see him again. And he said it a couple of times. Said it before we left the parking lot. Oh, let me say this. So before we leave the parking lot, after he's done smoking, you know, he goes to the like ticket machine for the parking there, and he comes back and talks about how expensive the parking is. You're kidding me, right? You chose this parking. We didn't do anything, so you should really feel stupid because you literally just paid money to park your car when we could have parked somewhere completely for free if we were just going to talk. I wouldn't have let you leave, you know, from near my place if we weren't going to go anywhere. So, for some strange reason, he decided that it made more sense to sit and talk in the car longer than to go ahead and just pay the ticket fee. Because he was like, oh, you know, it's expensive, so if you're not in a rush to go right now, let's stay here for a little bit longer. And so I don't know if he caught himself trying to get his money's worth by staying longer and talking to me, or what that was about. If there was like a penalty fee for leaving early, which that wouldn't make any sense. But I was like, doesn't it make more sense to go ahead and pay it now? Because the longer you stay, the more it's going to cost. He was literally pinching for like pennies, like, with no joke, getting 1 yen, like 10 yen coins, whatever, out of his little like compartment thing, you know, by his steering wheel to pay the fee. And so I'll give him props. At least he didn't have the audacity to ask me for anything. Cause shoot, if he did. So anyway, so on his way taking me home, he's like, you know, I'm not stupid, you know, basically I'm internationalized, blah, blah, blah. You know, I know you don't plan to see me again. So like, you're not going to see me again, or you're not going to meet me. I really want to meet you tomorrow. Like, I could spend the whole day with you tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And so I was asking him, I forgot, see, I'm missing details. I was asking him earlier, we were in the car talking, like after he was done telling me his whole story about how he's a loser and proud. I told him, like, you know, you said we can go anywhere, so why don't we go to Kanagawa then? It's not busy there. You could find a cheaper place to go to eat there, basically is what I was thinking. I didn't say that part, but he's from Kanagawa, but not Yokohama specifically. And so he was like, oh, like, you know, if I go there, you know, I don't want to have to come back to Tokyo because I was planning to go to Kanagawa, go see you in Tokyo, and then go back to Guma, you know, instead of making zigzag trips, basically. And so I'm thinking, like, you have a car. You were just advocating how you would take me anywhere I want to go today, as well as throughout the, you know, the rest of the summer break. Now all of a sudden you're concerned about wasting gas and wasting time. Okay. And then you still want to see me tomorrow. Like, what? So he was being legitimate. He wasn't putting off the little Japanese white lie, where, not even white lie, Japanese lie, where they pretend to want something or be interested in doing something and not, you know, really mean it. But yeah, so he says he can't do it, basically. And so, what else happened? Aside from that, it was something else that he did. Oh, he had the audacity, again, this is after wasting our time, having us go all the way to Shibuya Sky, we didn't even look at the restaurants. We literally just looked at what stores they had available. And they didn't even look that fancy, might I add. He started talking to me about, you know, my pictures, like, oh, like, you took a really, sexy, you know, pictures or whatever online or whatever, like, why do you take that, whatever. And I'm like, y'all men are so predictable. And it's so funny because I literally had just got through recording a video earlier that day in which I was talking to you guys. Was it that day? No, the day before. In which I was talking to you guys about how men here, the moment they see you wearing inappropriate clothing, they lose all respect for you. And it's one thing for it to be mentally in your mind to look down on somebody and be like, oh, you shouldn't be dressed like that, you shouldn't do whatever. It's a whole other thing for that to dictate how you talk to them and what your intentions are with that person. So it's like you're telling on yourself. And so I was just like, because I can. And I left it at that. So he didn't ask anything else, he left it alone. And so, yeah, like after he was done smoking, he even came back with an English book. And so I joked with him because the title of the book, not the title, the cover of the book, it had a slogan or whatever saying, you can do it or whatever. And so I was like, see, you could do it. You could stop smoking. And so I was telling him, like, you know, my dad smokes and now he's dying because of it right now. And how, you know, it causes cancer. I know smokers hate hearing it. He went into the whole, you know, it's difficult to quit, which I totally understand. I understand that. I'm not judging him for it. But it's got to be real. Why would I want to date you struggling with cigarettes, you know, smoking, when I could date somebody that doesn't have that addiction, doesn't have that problem? Because the reality is, when you are dating somebody, you need to be accepting of them as they are and not looking at them as, I could fix this, change that about you. I would love to help you, but at the same time, I have to be realistic. You have to want to help yourself. And I have to be understanding and accepting towards the fact that even if I try to help you, you may not be willing to change. So I need to decide if I'm going to marry you, date you, whatever. Am I okay with my husband or my boyfriend being a chain smoker? Am I okay with him not having a career? Am I okay with him being a bum? And the answer to all of those things would be no. And I think he was also hat fishing too, because for some reason he had his hat on the whole time as well. So I think he was balding. But he was so fine. Oh my God, he was so fine. But I gotta be real. I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real. He may have been broke, but he was hot. So I even told him, I was like, you look like an idol. Like, he looked like he was actually like a part of like BTS or something. He looked Korean. But anyway. And it really sucks because that's literally the only thing that really ruined the criteria for me, was the fact that he basically had no interest in doing anything for himself. He might not have been tall, which is fine because my ex was also short too, but I don't like people that lie about their height. He was still taller than me regardless. But in case I didn't finish up that part, my thing was I was going to wear heels. And thinking back on it, if I wore heels, I might have been taller than him if I put my heels on like I was planning to. So, yeah, I felt really bad about the whole thing. But anyway, yeah, once it gets me back to my place, I basically go, like, you know, I don't know, like, you know, maybe we'll meet tomorrow, whatever. And so I took some time to think about it, and I was like, you know, I gotta be real. So he messaged me, like, you know, thanking me for my time, etc. And so I finally, like, just told him, I was like, you know, I put the ball in his court. I explained to him that, you know, my intention is to get married. And, oh, this is what made me change my mind. Because I was gonna meet him, actually. He messaged me telling me that I could easily take the train to Yokohama, and he gave a specific station, so I think it's actually past Yokohama. It was saying that we could meet there without the car. So now you're trying to save money on gas, be cheap, and you expect me to spend money to go and meet you when you have a vehicle. You're kidding me, right? Absolutely not. And so the other funny thing too is you don't have any problem spending money to get me drunk. So I bet if I say, oh, let's go to izakaya, you don't mind paying a 200 yen for some yakitori and, you know, giving me 12 rounds of drinks to get me drunk in the hopes of having sex with me. But you ain't finna just spend no money on my fat stuff just eating food, which is cool. And that's exactly why I'm not finna date you when I can date tons of other guys that are making $70,000, $80,000 plus per year versus your broke self. Probably making 20, 30K, no more than $40,000, if that. So, and he's 31 years old. You're older than me. You're satisfied being a loser. And this is Japan. So it's not even like it's the US or something. He has to be a failure in his parents' eyes. And according to him, if he's telling the truth, his mother is the only one that's alive. His father died for whatever reason. So I didn't say anything because I know he was trying to get sympathy from him. So I'm like, whatever. I don't know if he's telling the truth or not. For all I know, you're probably going on a date with another girl, which is fine. But I'm assuming that, you know, there's other things going on, because when I thought about it, I was like, if you didn't go see your mother last night and you claim that you came all the way here and you were expecting to meet me, he claimed he even went to my exact station. That means that you stayed somewhere else overnight. So either you slept in your car, which I doubted, or you went to go see somebody else and possibly slept with them, if you know what I mean. So this dude was so cheap and crazy. I told him, like, oh, you know, I don't want to go to Kanagawa. So I joked about, you know, his parents being surprised, him coming, his mom being surprised coming home with a black girl. And so he was like, yeah, they'd be surprised to bring a foreigner home, you know, randomly during Obon. And so he was like, well, if you come with me, like, you know, that, you know, you'd have to sleep inside my car. And I'm like, or you could just pay for a hotel for me like a regular man. If you're so concerned about saving money on, you know, coming all the way back here to Tokyo. So I left it alone. I was really joking, but kind of not joking. And so I was like, you know, it's fine. I'll just see you tomorrow. But then after he sent that message basically telling me, like, look, I'm not using my car anymore. I'm trying to save money. I wasted too much gas. He didn't say that, but that's what my mind said. Because he said that he wanted me to take the train to come see him there. And his other excuse that he might have had inside his mind, because the part that made him decide that we can't do drinking was, of course, he has to be able to drive. And so he was even suggesting that maybe we should go, you know, drinking somewhere close to my place so that this way, you know, I can walk myself back home and he can sleep in his car overnight or something. I'm like, why would I do all of that with you when I could just date a guy that has self-control, has a personality, and can find something else to do besides drinking alcohol like a loser? So it's whatever. So what else happened? So once he sent me that message, I told him, I was like, look, I'm gonna just put it to you, you know, as nicely as I can. I really like you. You're a nice guy. You're handsome, but I don't think we're looking for the same thing. Like, it seems like you're looking for a friend, as he pretty much kind of talked about. I'm looking for an actual boyfriend. I'm looking for somebody that I'm going to marry. I want to get married soon. I want to have children. You seem super frugal, and you don't seem to be looking for the same thing as me. And so then he basically messaged me back saying, oh, well, you know, I want to, you know, take it slowly, get to know you first, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, but if you're in a rush or whatever, then I guess maybe it can't work, blah, blah. And I'm like, my whole profile makes it very clear what my intentions are, what I'm looking for in my time frame. This app pairs is specifically made for people looking to get married, not people looking for one-night stands, not people looking for fun, not people looking for sex. Why do guys ruin apps like that? Why do y'all sign up for crap like that? I know the reason why. You all want to trick and manipulate women into sleeping with you under the, you know, falsehood or hopes of getting married to you. I'm not falling for that crap. So he was a nice guy. He didn't like try to pressure me or anything, but it was very obvious that he was more pushy towards the, you know, thought of going out drinking, etc. And then in fact, like I said, it's one thing for you to not have money and like be a little bit cheap at what you buy, what you're willing to spend. It's a whole other thing when you can't even like make. He didn't like even try to sugarcoat anything for his first impression. It was just flat out, I ain't spending nothing on you. Like I'm spending maybe $5 at best. So let's say you know when a guy's cheap, ask him what his favorite food is, and he's going to name something cheap. He's going to say he likes seafood, and by seafood he means sushi. Sushi costs $1 or $2 a plate. He's going to say he likes ramen. Ramen, you can get it for as cheap as 500 yen, and on the more expensive side, 1 to 2,000 yen, and normally they're going to find somewhere that's right in the middle, like 600, 700 yen for a bowl. That ain't really their favorite food. It's their favorite for you because they don't want to spend money on you. Because they want to be able to date and see other girls. So, if you can even try to pretend to get, you know, put out a good first impression or whatever, pretend like you're willing to spend money on me for the first date, these places aren't even expensive. Why would I want to see you again? And you have a car. How insulting is that? You're asking me to come take a train to come see you when you have a vehicle. And mind you, having a car is a much bigger deal here in Japan because most people don't have it. It's expensive. It's a luxury. His car wasn't nice or fancy or anything, but just the fact that you own one. So I was like, this ain't gonna work. So it hurt because, like I said, he's so fine. But I have to be real with myself because, like I said, there would be no future with him. I don't do struggle love. And it's one thing for you to be in a struggling position, but at least to realize you made bad choices. In his mind, he was satisfied what he did with his life. He's happy just where he is. And I think in his mind, he also kind of felt like, you know, I would have too many rules to him, as he said. Because I told him, I was like, I played on the line that I'm allergic to cigarette smoke, which I'm not. But it's like, shoot, we all are, because it kills your lungs. So I'm thinking, like, why would I want to smell like that crap? So, so he like joked about it, but like, no, there's some truth to what you're saying, and you're right. So we wouldn't be a match, but it just made me like sad and like want to laugh at the same time, because it's like, who would want to date you like that? Like, be real with yourself, guys. Who would want to date you like that? You don't want to, like, this is what I was talking about. That's why I said that I don't do cafe dates, etc. You could tell a lot about a guy right from the start by his willingness to spend money on you on the first date. You learn a lot on the first date. A dude worried about being used for a meal ticket. A dude worried about spending $20, $30 or whatever on you for a one-time date. Why would you want to date him? Why? When there are thousands of men who will spend lots on you, buy you gifts, take you out for dessert. Why do I want to go out with a guy who is, you know, scrummaging around for 10 yen to cover the taxes on some sushi? Ladies, be careful, because you might be thinking, oh, like, I like sushi, I like ramen. Yep, I do too. But when I go on dates, I only eat yakiniku. Like, I don't know what ramen is. So, and of course, like I said, the goal is not to play gold digger, but rather to be realistic with yourself. He should be trying to impress you by taking you to a nice place. This dude had no plan. And then even when he asked what I wanted to do, this is what I said about this before too. Then we get all the way there, waste time walking there, waste money parking there, waste gas. Then you decide, without even looking at the menus, just looking at the restaurant pictures, oh my God, there's no way I'm gonna spend that much money. And so he even tried to like play it off because of his pride and be like, oh, did you want to go here? What the fuck do you think? That's why I had you come all the way here. You think I came all the way here just to look at it and say, yeah, nah, I changed my mind. You know, if I did that as a girl, that'd piss a guy off. He'd be like, you wasted my gas, you wasted my time, I came all the way here, and then you decide when we get there you don't want to eat here all of a sudden. But for him, because it was his time and money that he wasted, it was like, oh, let's go back outside. This is too expensive. I'm not spending that much money on you. And it's not even like he didn't have it. He just didn't want to do it for me. He'll do it for the next girl. So, and shoot, if he won't, that's exactly why and so that's the thing too. That's why he's single. You got to be careful when you're my age and you start dating older guys, because you instantly start seeing why dudes are single. I've literally been talking to tons of other people that are in their late 30s, in their early 40s, etc. And when you talk to them literally for just moments, exchanging some messages, you see why these people are divorced. You see why they're single. They're either caught up and wrapped up in themselves, full of it, and they want to be treated like a king, or they're wrapped up in their work, or they're super cheap and frugal. What girl is gonna like that? And at least this dude was actually fine. But for other guys, they won't even be attractive. And it's like, you cannot be ugly and trying to play hard to get. There was another guy, I think he was like, I don't remember his age. I think he was 35 or something. And so it's like every time you send a message, it was taking forever and a half for him to like reply back. And so I'm thinking to myself like, okay, I just got a message right now. Your messages have literally no content. It's nothing worth replying to. And you reply late. Your profile says that you want to have kids, you want to get married. You're not handsome. You are tall, but you're not handsome. You only have a few matches. You're single. You're in your mid to late 30s now. This is why you don't have a girlfriend. This is why you don't have a wife. Y'all do it to yourselves. You cannot be ugly and trying to play hard to get. You can't do that. It don't work that way. You can't play hard to get when you are hard to want. You can't play my game. I get tons of messages. I have tons of matches, tons of likes. I legitimately do like lose track. I'll forget to reply back to stuff. You got me and maybe one other person actually reply back to you. So it's like, it's not like you forgot, or, you know, you can't remember, or you're so busy doing whatever. And like, you actually see that the person's online too. They're just ignoring you. And so it's like, I don't have time for all that crap. You want to play that game? Cool. Now you're missing out. You're never going to know what could have happened. You know, what would have been. You'll never experience that with me then. So I just find that so funny. So like, again, like at least with this person, like they were like really attractive and they didn't play those type of games. But even then, like once he got home, like was messaging me like about like, you know, can you see me tomorrow, which is now today as of the recording of this. What was I gonna say? Yeah, he started like replying slower, like taking 20 minutes, 10 minutes here, 30 minutes. Well, it doesn't seem like a long time, but it's like, no, it is when you've gone from messaging somebody nonstop back to back, calling them, blowing up their phone. Now suddenly you're so busy, can't see messages type thing. So it's like, I'm not finna chase after you. Even if you are fine, I don't do that because I am too, and I have tons of other options. Again, if you want to play pretty boy, you want to pretend like you're busy, okay, do with another girl. And there's tons of girls that will fall for that crap too, because a lot of these foreign girls are desperate. I'm starting to feel like it in my head, but I ain't never finna show you. So, nope. I'll just wait for the next person. Simple as that. So, I'm done. I made almost a 1-hour video for this. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. It really just made me so upset because it's like, how are you going to decide on a first date that you openly want to be frugal? Not even try to hide it. I didn't have any money on me. I had a few dollars in my pocket. I was not going to walk around and be flaunting the fact that I'm broke and that this is literally going to be a free meal for me. In fact, I even turned down the opportunity for it. So for you guys, oh, the girls want free meals, whatever, I had the opportunity to get several of them. Even though it wouldn't have been the nicest place, it still would have been free food. If I really just wanted that, I could have gotten it. But I didn't want to take advantage of them, so I didn't let them spend anything. I let it go. I went home, bought my own food, had some McDonald's. So, I'm done. I'm finished with my food and drink too. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And girls, especially if you're living in Japan, maybe you can relate to me. Tell me your own stories, your own situations, whatever. Do you see what I'm saying though? Like, it's not the money itself, it's the principle of it. And it says a lot. And again, as an adult, especially if you're trying to have a family, you want to get married soon. You're not playing around, messing around, just looking for one night stands, etc. You have to ask yourself, if he can't even spend $10, $20, guys, we're adults. We're making $30 to $40 to $50 an hour with our work. If somebody can't even like do that, like spend, I don't know, $20, $40, whatever, for a one-time thing, after they've been saving money for God knows how many years, or working for an entire month. Because unlike in the US, which is actually kind of better, it's easier to organize your money here in Japan. Like, it sucks when you're first getting started, like when you switch jobs, like I have and I am. But after you've been working for a minute, you have your entire salary at once. You can easily, you know, portion it out, decide what goes where. And people here are really good with money. So it's like, it's not even like you just don't have it at the moment. You just decided, I'm not worth spending that on. If he can't even do that, spend $20, $40, 1 hour's wage, what is the future going to be like with this person? And you might say, oh, maybe he just doesn't do it for the first date. There will be a motorcycle outside. But then ask yourself, okay, when is he going to? What if he doesn't? Why are you selling yourself short when another person would go all out to impress you, spend a ton of money on you, take you to a really nice place, buy you a gift, do whatever? Why give this bum a chance? So, and then again, like, somebody showing you their true colors, that they're lazy, have no intention in changing. Believe them. Believe them. Do not try to play, you know, Bob the Builder with these men. You wasting your time. You wasting your money. You're wasting your youth. There are better men out there. And in his mind, he walked away from this probably thinking, wow, what a gold digger. Because after I said that to him, he was pretty, he didn't say anything to me, which I know he was probably pressed. I deleted the chat. So even if you wanted to talk, you'd have to start a new one. But it really sucks because I wouldn't mind being his friend, maybe. But I feel like he wasted my time too. So in his mind, probably feel like he wasted his time coming all the way here. But it's like, you clearly plan to meet somebody else, whether it was really your mom or another girl or both. I don't know. But with that said, you plan to come here yourself. Whereas for me, I got dressed, I got ready, I wasted time, you know, doing my hair and makeup. You made my hair smell like cigarette smoke. So it's like, there was a lot of, my clothes, everything just really pissed me off. I did all of that for nothing. We didn't even go anywhere. I literally did that to sit inside of your car for a couple of hours. What a waste of time. What a waste of money. And in his mind, it's like, oh, what a gold digging whore, blah, blah. Like, you know, she, you know, wasted my time, money. I came all the way there to go see her, and she was too good to go eat at KFC. Okay. So, whatever. Like I said, I don't date broke men, and this is a prime example of why. They're not serious. They're insulting. They're insulting. You think I'm worth a $5 KFC sandwich? So maybe I am to you, and that's cool, because to another guy, I'm worth a lot more than that. So whatever, I'm done with this video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching again for the 7,000th time. Give me your opinions. What have you experienced, you know, dating here? Have you had a similar circumstance where, you know, you were talking to a guy and then you meet him and then he suddenly changes his mind? It's like, oh, like, you know, I'm broke, I can't do anything all of a sudden type things. It's like, huh? Like, why ask me what I want to do and then tell me that you can't do it, basically? And then he had the nerve to really want to meet me the next day. He was really concerned about me blocking him because he was like, I'm afraid that when you get home, you're going to block me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I should block you, but I'm not going to. So I didn't say that I should part. But I said, no, I'm not going to block you. And I still didn't. So I might change my mind. I might choose to be friends with him in the future. But I can't see myself dating him. Definitely not. Because, again, like, there's better options. If he caught me when I was like 38, 39, my ovaries might have been acting up more and I might have been like, oh, I just want to have a baby. But even then, it's like, those are the perks too. I gotta make this video longer. We're going past the hour mark, guys. Sorry, gotta talk again. What do I get out of this? Like, beyond just the fact that you're not thinking about it right now. But, okay, I'm already 25 years old. I'll be 26 soon. I said that to him inside the message too. I don't have forever. I don't have time to be playing around with you, having fun playing bad boy with your little pierced ears and smoking cigarettes, claiming you ain't got a tattoo. Okay, so what's supposed to happen to me later on then? You don't know, do you? After waiting to sit around, will he decide to marry me? Will he decide he wants kids? Shoot, if you can't afford a $10 meal, you can't afford no $1,000 baby. It costs thousands to give birth here. Not to mention actually putting the kid in school and raising them, etc. So it really sucks because he seemed like he was internationalized, seemed like a good guy, like he knew his stuff, that he was aware of other cultures, other religions, etc. But I was like, this ain't realistic. I'm supposed to throw away my time, throw away my money, throw away my body possibly too, because you know you're going to sleep with me. Just in the hopes, the possibility that, maybe one day he might decide, I like you, I want to be with you forever. Why waste my time with a what if guy that's a loser and a bum when there's a guy that has his stuff together and knows exactly what he wants? Get out of here. So, alright, I am done. Right before the hour mark. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. As always, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Comic95. You can add me on Snapchat or follow me on TikTok at Comic the Savior. And you can read my blog at comic95.com. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment down below. What's your thoughts? What's your opinion? Whether you're a guy or a girl, what do you think? Have you experienced this yourself? And I was saying this before on Patreon, but I find that when I date people that aren't college educated too, it's like they can't even hold like a decent conversation. Like they lack intellect, so to speak. Like their brain is like stuck in elementary mode or something. Like they don't have the experience that you do. Sure, you don't have to be smart to go to college, but you definitely ain't finna be stupid from it either. That's how I see it. So whatever. Yeah, that's it. So thank you. Leave a comment, please like, please subscribe, give me your 2 cents, and I will talk to you later. I'll update you on my other dates soon. I have that other guy, the otaku dude, I want to talk to you guys about, so yeah. And I'll also talk to you about my noisy, annoying roommates, or housemates, I guess I should say, because we don't share a room. So yeah, thank you, bye.